tinfoil hat.
Oh, what the you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted.
And welcome to Tinfoil Hat, live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. Just go to samtripoli.gold, use the promo code TINFOIL, and you too can get in on the Precious Metals game for as little as $50 a month. Very excited to have this next guest on. He's a good friend of mine out of Chicago. He's a tattoo artist. We had a wonderful conversation as he was here, as we hooked up in Chicago and had a little fun talk. I'm very excited to have him on. Please welcome Ben Wahhh. How are you, buddy?
So glad to be here. I'm a longtime listener, and this is a highlight of my life.
Oh, dude, congratulations.
As sad as that is.
Yeah, I know, dude. You're the man, dude. I really enjoyed our time together. You're a really cool cat. I enjoyed it. Ben, for those who may not be familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
I'm a lifelong Chicagoan. I own a tattoo shop here called Deluxe Tattoo. Been in business for 28 years. I'm on Instagram at Ben Wahhh Tattoo. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. You can probably find me, no problem.
All the links below. We'll make sure they're in there. Ben, it was great to meet you in Chicago. We had a good time, good conversation. Chicago, I feel, is a lot like the state of California. I wouldn't say you're not a conservative. I would call you an old school liberal. Would I be correct in that? Old school.
Absolutely.
You know, you would say that you just live and let live, you know.
Yeah, and I was thinking the other day, if it would be so simple. We have this Palestinian peace plan. We could have an American peace plan. How about this? You want to have an abortion? That's your right. Go for it. It'll be medically supervised and done right. You want to have a gun? Go for it. Register it. Be legal. Easy. You just solve 99% of the problems in this country.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that, man. It's like, even though I'm against the act of abortion because I think children are a blessing,
that's your choice, though.
I'm more.
That's
against.
the thing, to offer that choice to everybody in this country. No one's making anybody do it.
Yeah,
no one's making. I don't want a gun. I've never wanted a gun, but I'm not going to tell someone they can't have one.
After the video you sent me the other day, you should want a gun. Holy shit! And we'll get into that.
Yeah,
okay. But my whole opinion is, like, I think children are a blessing from God, but the thing that it makes me even more scary is the government telling me what I can and cannot do. That
Correct.
To me overrides everything, dude, because I don't trust them.
The point
at all.
isn't even that. The point is that these two law firms that run this country of ours are not pursuing anything based on morals. They're pursuing it on control and money and power.
Yep.
And, you could look at videos from 20 years ago and these people flip-flop on everything. They don't care. They have no morals whatsoever. And, we unfortunately, when it comes time to hire people to run our country, we'll have 1,000 great choices, but you can only choose one of these two idiots over here. And that's the way we're tied up with this.
Ben, you sent me the craziest video yesterday. You go, "This is outside my house." You want to describe it?
We have some people on our block that are.
Hold on one second. I want to send it to Johnny real quick.
XG.
Send it to XG real quick, and then you can describe what you were.
XG connect to the Bluetooth.
Oh, here. You gave me. Did you send me two videos of it?
Oh yeah, I have like a dozen. That was yesterday. The first one I sent you was yesterday, but there's been many.
Xavier,
occurrences.
I just sent right there. He lives right in the heart. And Chicago is a great city. I get why everyone loves it. It seems to be going through a little political figuring itself out, or maybe it's always been like that. I know you want to get into Chicago, and I want to too. It's kind of like California. We're just kind of going through something right now.
Well, I mean, that's kind of vague. California actually has a lot of red areas. I had a client, coworker that was from the Bay Area, and she would tell me that you go east of San Francisco, 20 minutes, it's Dukes of Hazzard. You know.
Yeah.
So to say California is one type of thing is kind of dismissing the 85% that isn't. You know, it's like Illinois. You know, Chicago is very left-leaning liberal. The rest of the state is not.
I wonder why it does that.
It's because that was the.
Can we get an English first language?
You can hear the audio of it, and you'd be fine. You don't need to see it.
No, it's fine. We won't play it. XG ruined it.
But you can play it yourself and watch it real quick.
It's crazy, dude.
Sounds like there's a gun battle between two armies happening in front of my house at 11:45 in the morning on Monday.
No, because there wasn't a gun battle between two people in front of your house at 11:45. You know,
and just behind one of them is a park. They had kids. Yeah, behind one of them is a park with kids and moms that were at it, and they didn't come out from under those trees and picnic tables for a good 5 minutes until the cops got here. I saw the strollers. I didn't see them, and I said, "Where are these people at?" And then the cops came, and they started coming out from behind the trees with their babies. Yeah, it was rough.
What kind of neighborhood is? I mean, is that a bad?
It looks like a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's what
it's. I live west of downtown. This area called Tri-Taylor, and it's a mix. You know, you still have gangs, but you have professionals. We're right by the University of Chicago. You have a lot of students. You have a lot of professional types. Yeah,
and you still don't want guns?
I don't care. I don't want to kill anybody now.
So you live in Chicago. Chicago has been notorious for, corruption forever, whether it goes way back to the mob and all that stuff. You want to get into that? You want to talk about Chicago corruption?
So I'm lucky enough for my job. I get a lot of everybody. I get police. I get people that work at hospitals. I get city workers. I get everybody. So I hear plenty of stories. But yeah, the corruption is just insane. One of the worst stories is a personal friend of mine who became a cop. His dad was a cop. His brother was a loser and wasn't doing anything with his life. And then at one point decided he was sick of it and turned it around, went to law school, and then became a cop. And really amazing turnaround, this guy. So a position became available in the pension board. He ran for it and he won it. He got in on the pension board. Well, then he started seeing where all the money's going. So basically, one of the scams our mayor was pulling was he had his nephew had a company that was managing, quote unquote, the pension money. One of the things they were doing was there was a garage the city paid $50,000 a year to rent to put trucks in. So they took the pension money, they bought the garage. Now that they manage the pension money and the properties of the pension, they turn around and rent the same garage to the city for $500,000 that they were stuffing in their pockets for management fees. So they basically made the city pay $500,000 to rent a garage that they used to rent for $50,000.
Crazy.
That they owned. They now owned it and were paying 10 times as much in rent. And then the mayor's nephew and them were getting this money.
So
pretty good scam, really.
It is. I mean, most of them are like, that's a brilliant scam.
Yeah, he exposes all this, and now he's gaining popularity. So now the head of the police union position is coming up, and he runs for that. He wins. Youngest ever elected head of the police union in the city of Chicago, which you can imagine is a pretty big thing. So now what's his first order of business? Expose corruption. So immediately he starts going after people and exposing things. And he sends a letter to the inspector general of the city of Chicago and says, here's a list of people that need to be investigated. List gets leaked. What do you know? So now it's in every paper on every news source, and they're all screaming for his head because these are all people still in these positions. So what happens? They have to stop the bleeding. They send up the head of the state of Illinois Fraternal Order of Police, the union, who fires them, which he legally cannot do. He refuses to be fired because this guy doesn't have the legal ability to do it. So he goes to work the next day. They change the locks. They literally will not let him in the building that he is the president of the city of Chicago union of. They smear him. They try to do everything they can to him. They have another election. Obviously, he can't be in it. He goes to court. He wins. But every time he tries to run now, they instantly say, well, didn't you get fired from your job? And he doesn't get a chance to respond. So now he's just a police detective. He doesn't ever want to get involved with politics again. But, here's a guy who tried to clean the city up, and they go after you.
Yeah, I think people who try to get into politics, clean it up, realize very quickly it's way bigger than them.
Yeah.
And when everyone's greasing hands, it's like impossible to get corrupt people to want to fix corruption. I mean, that's the biggest problem with Washington, D.C. You'll never fix it because everyone's making insane money. And why would they want to change that? Like, they keep acting like they're going to ban inside trading in Washington, D.C. Why would they ever vote against themselves?
60 Minutes has done multiple segments on, Nancy Pelosi and inside trading. And at one point, they even made a law. And what was supposed to be passed, Obama went through and neutered it. And he took away all the good stuff that was in the law. It's all BS. With DC and with national news and such, they always cover it up. One of the things that was a big thing during the Russiagate was, what's his name? Mike Flynn. Mike Flynn was a big target during Russiagate, and they wanted to go after him. And what do you remember about Mike Flynn during Russiagate?
He was a big part of the Q stuff.
Okay, well, here's the story you didn't hear. During Russiagate, he was representing a bunch of other retired generals that was trying to sell our nuclear secrets to Saudi Arabia for them to make nuclear power. He was allowed to travel to Japan. He was allowed to travel to Saudi Arabia. So the whole time he was getting persecuted in the news here, and they acted like that was a big deal. He was out there wheeling and dealing, trying to sell our nuclear secrets to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you can look it up. He had a company with a bunch of retired generals. Now, his partner was a guy named Bijan Khan. This guy was representing Turkey, got convicted or got charged for the same thing that Manafort got charged with, representing a foreign country, not filing papers saying you are. He got convicted by a jury. The judge turned around and said, "No, I don't think so. Forget it. Drop the whole thing." So how do you get convicted by a jury and the judge turns around and says, "Nope, you know what? You go free. Don't worry."
It's just rules for thee and not for me, dude. They're judge, jury, prosecutor, police. They're everything. They're at every choke point. They have somebody that they've compromised and controlled and corrupted, and they just run it all. That's why, the more and more I do this, the more and more I go. The whole point of this show is to learn their playbook and not fall for their psyops. That is how you do it.
It's hard when they dominate all the different search engines and media to get you riled up about a story that all the sides are involved with. Again, with the Russiagate thing, one of the biggest things that continually blows my mind. The whole thing was predicated on a guy named Carter Page. Carter Page was recruited to be the energy consultant on it. He never even met Trump in person. He was one of the people they consulted on being on Trump's team. Well, the FBI decided that he was shady and wanted to open up an investigation into him and use that to open a FISA warrant that they use to search, listen to calls with Trump and such. What they don't talk about, what nobody talks about, is Carter Page was part of an investigation into Russians all the way up to 2015.
Yes.
And he was the main witness against Russians. And who was the head person at the FBI at that time? Robert Mueller. So these guys all knew him. And yet, at no point in that whole Russiagate scandal did anybody ever stand up and say, wait a minute, this was your main witness against Russians. Why would you think he's a Russian spy? Nobody. Never came up. Not on Trump's side, nobody.
Because Carter Page also had connections to the Clintons. He was working with them when Bill Clinton was in office. Okay.
Nobody ever said anything about it.
Nobody ever said anything about it. And this is, again, the funniest part about Mark Maron, who I love as a person. He's my friend. But you have some real balls calling out Trump. And we're not Trump people here in any way. But then your last episode of your legendary podcast is with Obama, who did something worse than Watergate. I mean, Obama did a lot of bad. Obama
none of these people do anything. They're all puppets. The real people pulling the switches, you'll never know. They don't want you to know. Obama was a senator that was in power for 2 years before he became president.
Oh, he's a Bush.
Yeah, he's a guy that was put in there, to be the front man. Same with Trump. I mean, none of these people are running anything. Biden, none of these people. They're just the puppets, It's all. We're not going to have real politicians ever again. Never.
Yeah. I agree.
Who do you think? I'm curious. Who do you think the last real at the presidential level? Have we ever had someone who was a true free?
I mean,
free
Bush
will?
Senior, 100%. That guy, that's an alpha male there. That guy was for real.
Because he's part of them. That's why. Like, he was part of the permanent state. He ran the CIA. He was vice president.
But I'm thinking like someone who's actually an agent of the people. Who
it won't happen. I don't know if you ever heard this one, but in Colorado, there was a guy who was it was in Obama's energy department, and he decided he was going to run for office in Colorado, where he was from. If you've never heard this, you should look it up. It's amazing. So this guy is approached by this guy, Steny Hoyer, who's Nancy Pelosi's second in command. Steny Hoyer comes to this guy and says, listen, it's really admirable that you want to do this. We already have somebody. Don't bother. We got a guy who's a corporate lawyer guy, whatever, we're going to put in this position. And this guy says, listen, when I worked for Obama, he said, if you want to run for office, get a petition, have people sign it, get out there, do it. And that's what I'm doing. And Steny Hoyer says to him, you know what? Don't waste your time. We already have our guy. Nothing's going to matter. This guy is going to have the job. He recorded the whole conversation. You could hear it. And not only did he record it, I want to say, the one Glenn Greenwald's outfit he used to work for, they made a cartoon to go along with it.
The Inception or the Inceptor or whatever.
Yeah. Intercept. The Intercept made a cartoon to go along with it. That's pretty funny. But I mean, that just goes to show you, these decisions are made. These people who are the puppets they're going to put in place. Anyone real trying to run grassroots, like trying to make it happen, they'll smash you. Won't happen.
That's
nothing
why,
worth,
that's
power.
Why I'm suspect of Thomas Massey.
Like, very much so. But one of your best guests you ever had. Has a great podcast. Is Jennifer Briney. Her podcast, Congressional Dish, and she had a great episode where she went to the DNC and the RNC and interviewed two Congress people from both parties. And you can listen to all four interviews, and I mean, doesn't matter the party, they all say the same exact thing. If you want to get money for that to fix that road in your district, you're going to sign this. You're not going to read it, you're going to sign it. And if you jump through the hoops and you're a good person, you obey your rules, you'll get your peanuts to get that park in your district. It's a really good episode to listen to.
We'll see if this works.
Oh, that's it. You found it.
In his farewell address, President Obama told Americans that if they were fed up, they should go out and run for office.
If you're disappointed by your elected officials, grab a clipboard, get some signatures, and run for office yourself.
And in the Trump era, thousands of Democrats have heeded his call, running for office in elections across the country. Meanwhile, in the race for Congress, the DCCC, or the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, has moved aggressively to crush competitive primaries. DCCC officials and senior Democrats are hand-picking moderate, business-friendly candidates and are attempting to push progressives out of key races. In Colorado's 6th District, one of the most competitive seats in the country, the DCCC moved in early to select Jason Crow, a corporate lawyer, as the party candidate, pushing resources, endorsements, and money to Crow while elbowing out progressive Democratic competitors. The Democratic Party often denies that they play favorites. What follows is a meeting between Congressman Steny Hoyer, the number 2 Democrat in the House, and Levi Tillemann, a progressive running for the nomination for the Colorado seat.
Levi, I want to talk to you about this congressional race.
Absolutely, that's what I expected.
Yeah.
The audio was recorded by Tillman after months of pressure from the DCCC. The conversation was edited from...
You would like me to get out of the race.
And you keep saying, I would like you to get out. And of course, that's correct.
Yeah. I know you're fundraising for Crow.
Yeah. I'm for Crow. I am for Crow because a judgment was made very early on. I didn't participate in the decision.
So your position is a decision was made, very early on before voters had to say, that's fine because that's the DCCC knows better than the voters of the 6th Congressional District, and we should line up behind that candidate.
That's certainly the consequence of our decision.
It couldn't be more obvious that he's recording. So I'm going to list all the bad things. Correct. Yes, absolutely. That's a way to put it.
I mean, that is crazy. That's the most unorganic conversation I've ever heard. And the guy's like,
let me say, I do give myself a pat on the back for remembering it accurately because I haven't seen this in years.
Can we watch more?
There are two things I'd like you to consider. One may be easier than the other. First would be if you stay in the race. And frankly, I would hope you would not. I'll get to that. But if you stay in the race, it is not useful to the objective to tear down Crow. Crow's clearly the favorite. That doesn't mean he'll win. It just means he's the favorite.
I hear you.
That doesn't mean it's right. It just means
no, I hear you.
Right. I don't know Crow well, but I think he's a decent human being.
So before we go any further on that, Crow is the favorite. In no small part, Congressman Hoyer, because the DCCC not only put its finger on the scale, but started jumping on the scale very early on. And I'm born and raised a Democrat. I mean, it's undemocratic to have a small elite select someone and then try to rig the primary against the other people running. And that is basically what's been happening.
I hear you, and I disagree.
But you were part of that process
Absolutely.
as well. You said absolutely. Yes, yeah.
I've been at this a long time.
Yeah.
When I said you need to get in strong, hard, and early, you disagree with me. Honestly, that's your choice.
And you guys are shoveling money at him.
We're going to continue.
You're going to continue to do it?
We are going to continue to do it. And the reason why we're going to do it is because a decision was made to focus. It was clear that was our policy and our hope that we could early on try to come to agreement on a candidate that we thought could win the general. And to give that candidate all the help we could give them so that we would have a unified effort going into a general election.
Which means, effectively, Congressman Hoyer, I'm running a campaign against Crow and against you and against the DCCC.
Hey guys, life is going really good and Daddy's got to dress up a couple times and I need the right clothes. And there's no better clothes than our friends at Quince. Let me tell you this, okay? As the weather cools, I'm swapping in pieces that actually get the job done. Warm, durable, and built to last. And Quince delivers every time with wardrobe staples that carry you through the season.
Quince has the kind of fall staples you'll actually want to wear on repeat. We're talking 100% Mongolian cashmere from just $60, classic fit denim, and real leather. I like that, real leather. And wool outerwear that looks sharp and holds up. I've got my eye on their suede trucker jacket, Sam. It's perfect for layering and just looks really casual but put together. Get me? By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quince cuts out the middlemen to deliver premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Wow.
Guys, if you're looking to impress the ladies, I mean, there's no better style of clothing that says I'm stable than our good friends at Quince, dude. If you're looking to dress to impress, look at that, whatever that is. Look how good that looks.
Italian wool overcoat. Yeah, I got their the black chore coat. I love a nice chore coat.
Oh my God, look that looks good. That you could be wearing that to solve crimes or to revenge your master's death. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good New Year's jacket, though.
That's a good New Year's jacket.
That's something
you look like you mean business in that jacket. Look at that guy. Yeah, you're definitely solving murder mysteries in that for sure. Yeah. Those are nice looking jackets, dude. Those are not, I mean, dude, those are quality jackets. And I'm just thankful Quince lets us wear it because some of us are such savages, They let us look good in it. Thank you, Quince. We love you very much. So this is what we want you to do. Layer up this fall with pieces that feel as good as they look. And that's for sure. They look good. Okay. Go to quince.com/tinfoilhat for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. Congratulations, Canadians. Welcome to the cool club. All right. That's QUINCE.com/tinfoilhat. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/tinfoil hat. Okay. Hey guys, real quick, guess what? Humanity is facing a crisis like we've never seen before. Nobody's making babies. And if you don't want humanity to end, then you better get on banging, okay? And there's one company trying to stop that, one company between us and oblivion, and that is Blue Chew! That's right, Blue Chew. Let me tell you about Blue Chew. This isn't about just performance. This is about legacy and third, legacy, if you know what I'm talking about. Give her group chat something to talk about. You know, when you lay it down, like drop the hammer of the gods on her, they'll talk about it and how it gets up, okay? Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little bit of Blue Chew. Discover your options at bluechew.com, okay? They're an American company for American men, having American boners for American ladies, unless you're into dudes, and that's dudes too, okay? It's really that simple. It's really that simple, man, okay? And we got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free using the promo code tinfoil at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to bluechew.com for details and safety info. And we give a big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring this show and making more of the swarm. Never pull out. Never again. Blue Chew. It's for humanity. I don't know why.
Did you ever hear what happened in Florida with Debbie Wasserman Schultz?
Oh, she's the worst.
One of her races, her opponent was polling super strong, and he was doing great. And the election happens, he loses. He can't understand why he lost. So he wanted to see the paper ballots. They destroyed them. They just went and destroyed them. And it was against the law, and the judge ruled it was against the law. There was no consequence.
What was their reasoning for that? The purported reason, like why? What?
Oops, that was their reasoning.
Really?
Oops, we didn't know we couldn't destroy them. They knew, but he won, and they had to hide it. She had to have that seat, and so they literally just broke the law and destroyed the ballots. And what can he do about it?
Yeah, there was one guy, Tim something, that kept running against her, polling really well and then losing every time.
That might be him.
She is essential lizard person.
Well, what was the brothers? The
Wahhh brothers. It's the greatest
the Wahhh
scandal
brothers. Yeah,
ever, and nobody ever talks about it.
Never.
I mean, dude, her brother was the prosecutor of her corruption scandal.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, like,
it's amazing.
And anytime you read an article, they'd say the prosecutor, but they wouldn't tell you his name.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Even if you try to Google it, if you don't know the right terms, it just won't.
Yeah,
you won't get the story.
You have to get the exact same terms lately.
Yeah.
One of the things that I would tell people about is, Mueller made a huge deal when they were prosecuting those Russians that they, indicted them. Almost no coverage when they dropped everything. And I would Google for that article how they dropped all the charges because the Russians said, cool, let's go to court. Let's do discovery. I want to see what you have. And when they did that, they all said, okay, we'll drop all the charges. The only way I could find it was Googling the lawyer's name that was representing the Russians. When I Googled his name, now you can find the articles. But when you Googled charges dropped against Russians, whatever, Russiagate, nothing.
That reminds me of when I got arrested for buying drugs off a hooker. And I was broke, and Mark Garagos represented me because I did the Armenian bone marrow show. And so he got me a lawyer, and she basically didn't cross-examine, but in disclosure, it's called discovery. Yeah, discovery. She asked for all the cops' files, and the next time we showed up to trial, the police union rep showed up and said, we're dropping all the charges.
That's amazing.
And the whole court goes, what? What? The lawyer goes, what? You're dropping the charges? Like, yep, we're dropping the charges.
How happy were you, dude?
Oh, I couldn't believe what I was watching. And then the lawyer came up to me and goes, oh, dude, he must have been a really corrupt cop. They didn't want to file out.
In that video we just watched about the Economist, the Intercept about the election there and how they want to rig it for that person because they want that one to win. Here's a great one, a Chicago one. So when Rahm Emanuel surfaced here to run, he was not living here. They picked him. You are going to be the next mayor after Daley. The Daley family had ruled Chicago for decades, and they wanted Rahm, the DNC, obviously, to move in and take over. everybody in Chicago is like, who is this guy? He doesn't live here. No one talks about him. He just showed up, materialized. So his main opponent was a woman that was recognized that worked for Bill Clinton named Carol Moseley Braun. She was a black woman from the South Side, and she was polling extremely well. So what happened? All of a sudden, 10 new black candidates entered the field. No white candidates, black, to split the black vote. Now, this is the best part about it. To get on the ballot, you need to have certain things, including a petition with a certain number of signatures, and it has to be notarized. Here's what happened. They looked at the notaries. They were all fake. All the petitions were fake. Guess what? They were all still allowed to run. That's crazy. Figure that out. Guess what happened?
Corrupt.
Rahm wins. Now, the next election, you have Lori Lightfoot versus Toni Preckwinkle, who's a woman. They're both women. They both look like they could be sisters. Liberal black women with short hair that are Chicago people, right? One opponent, Patricia Van Pelt, West Side woman, very intense, wants this job, right? Oh, what? They look at her petition. They say it was forged. You're out of the race. So, when they want to keep them in the race, cool. Forged petitions, we don't care. Forged notary, they want you out of the race because you're actually going to cause a problem. They use it against you.
Let me ask you something. So I always have this issue with voting. I'm really over voting. I'm over voting on candidates. But do you think the propositions are real, or is that rigged too?
Propositions? What do you mean?
Let's say
they don't have those everywhere. That's
it's a California thing, but proposition to get ingredients on food in California died. But everyone I know would I'd like to know what's in the food, but it doesn't pass.
So if you ever look into a lot of that has to do with the FDA. Like, you have to do labeling through the FDA. And a lot of that is controlled by big money. If you watch, Bernie Sanders had a hearing with the head of the FDA before it was 2024, November. And the head of the FDA for the last 20 years, nothing but excuses. They said, well, why is one of the senators asked him, why is red dye illegal to be in these cosmetics, but we can have it in food? Oh man, if I try to get it out, the companies will come after me, want to see the data, we'll have to do investigations, it's going to cost money, time, lawyers, we can't afford to do it. Excuses. RFK gets in, it's gone in months. This guy's been in office for 20 years, and it's all corruption and payoffs. You know what they asked him? This is real. If you don't believe me, please look into it. If the FDA finds out that Mott's applesauce has lead in it, you know what they could do about it? They can't do nothing. All they could do is tell Mott's, we found lead in your applesauce, and it's up to Mott's to act on it. They don't contact you. They don't contact any person in local government to say, hey, this applesauce in this local store has lead in it. They legally can't.
It's so bad, dude. It's so bad, dude. Make your own applesauce. That's what I got out of that.
But, one of the things he said in there that was hilarious, this guy that was the head of the FDA, he said, I had a nightmare that my grandchildren said to me, oh, during the 20 years of your being the head of the FDA, Americans got, sicker and fatter and worse off. Is that true? And I had to say, yes, it is.
Imagine saying that out loud.
He says it. You could go watch it. Please
I know, but
I'll post a link to it.
Imagine saying that, dude. It's like that's your conscience.
20 years. 20 years ahead of it.
That's haunting your nightmares.
And with the whole thing that was happening recently with Tylenol and acetaminophen, I referred people back in 2013. NPR did a whole thing on acetaminophen and how it was the number one over-the-counter medicine to send people to the emergency room. Now, when it comes to your labeling, they had a woman on there. You ready for this? In the 80s, working for the FDA, made the warning to go on the bottle. When they had her on this thing in 2013, they told her that warning never made it to the bottle. She was in disbelief. She didn't know.
She just assumed that it happened. Bottle? Wouldn't you be like, oh, I did all this hard work. Let's go see my warning. And it's not there. I would be like, where is this warning, dude?
But this woman, it was 30 years later. She was told it was a done deal and just never looked at it.
Let me ask you
something. And they inform her on this.
Why do you think there seems to be a drive to make Americans unhealthy and dumb compared to the rest of the world?
Because we're just absolutely corrupt, and I think the intention is probably more corporate profits than it is the outcome. They could give a.
Why don't they do it anywhere else though? Why do we see other?
Because
places?
they have common sense.
I'm not sure
that's why our FDA is bought and sold. Other FDAs are not.
If you look at the entertainment coming out of China and parts of of Asia, Russia, it's all the same shit, dude. It's all the same shit. It's just we don't hear.
Did you know when they make American movies, they make versions for China that have different endings and different scenes?
The Avengers famously has special Chinese scenes, like many of those films that they insert characters that aren't even in the American versions. Like I remember there's one with I can't remember
surgeons,
which
right?
Yeah, there's doctors. Yeah,
there's all Chinese doctors,
and they kind of like save the day in the background. Nobody, it's not even in the story. I wonder if that's canon technically. I imagine it would be like officially part of the. That's so funny.
Well, it's like so funny because when you find out that Yao Ming's career was cut short because he went to China to get his feet worked on, and they completely f***ed it up.
Oh, really?
Oh, you want to hear a better one?
Yeah.
This is great. So, the agency Interpol, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever hear about how the head of Interpol went to China and got abducted the moment he got off the plane, and he has never been seen or heard from again? Yeah. But Interpol can go to the Philippines and take Duarte off the street. So figure that one out,
It's crazy. That's why I say, man, there's been all these stories on YouTube. My algorithm's, I know, guys, but it's all about how female rappers are now becoming like Dubai girls because they're all broke.
What's Dubai girls?
Dubai.
Oh, Dubai.
Yeah, they go there for money. They just get lit up. And it's like, you got to watch yourself, man. It's like, especially as a woman, the minute you leave the United States, maybe if you go to Canada, it's not like that. But anywhere else, you can go, England and parts of Europe. But there's places in this country or in this world where you have no rights. And if you go to Saudi Arabia and you F up, no one in this country can get you out.
No, you don't even.
Well, that did happen. There was a music producer. This is Dallas West or something was his name. He got busted in Saudi Arabia. He had a pot seed in the sole of his shoe, and it was right to jail.
How did they even find that?
They had to pull every string they could to get him back, and they did.
Well, we talked about that that absolute smoke show out of England, who went there and they found coke in her apartment.
Yeah.
And now she's doing life in the Emirates.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, she is so hot. Yeah. What a waste.
No, when I was in Thailand, that was the thing there too. If you get busted with any drugs at the airport, you are done. And me and my wife were in the airport, and this guy who was like, if you're going to smuggle drugs, don't look like a hippie playing hacky sack. And this guy looked like the dumbest person to smuggle drugs. And they surrounded him with those dogs. He looked at me and my wife like, oh, and I just told my wife, keep walking. Don't look. I don't want him to think we know this guy. But in the old Lonely Planet books, it would even say, if you're in, Bangkok, please go to the prison and visit an American because they have not seen or heard from an American in years. Once you're done over there, you are done.
Oh. And in some of those countries, they feed you for the first 3 months and then they stop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No one will know.
No, I mean, they have a whole show about it. What, Locked Abroad?
Yeah. Then you got to figure it out. Oh, my God, dude. We won the lottery.
I mean, a little more subtle about it. Our prison, it's bigger and we're all living in it, right?
So in Chicago, you have this mayor now, and he's getting a lot of heat because he basically wants to defund the police, but he walks around with 150 security guards.
But, that's also what he says publicly, and then privately, what else, what do they do? He's a puppet, and these people don't understand how manipulated they are. There was a text that leaked from him that said he was waiting for word from the elders before he commented on it. Tell me what that means, That's like that Karen Bass call before the fire that Veritas put up.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna be gone for 2 days. I have to go. I'll tell you about it.
Don't be worried.
Don't be worried. You'll know when you know. You're like, damn, dude. And still nobody cares. It's almost like they don't even have to run any corruption anymore because people are so dumb they just fall for it. It's like listening to my friends on Facebook yell at me about Prop 50 makes me laugh. So I can't help but laugh.
I don't understand how you could be passionate. I get, okay. If
I'm
you
not
think,
passionate
No,
about
I'm not talking to you. I'm
Okay.
them. I'm saying how I get if you're like want to play some chess, political chess, like, hey, this is just what we have to do as Democrats to survive, in this game they're playing. But how you could be passionate about that, feel it in your chest enough that you're arguing with people on Facebook in favor of it.
No, but what it also is like, how can you say this is democracy?
That's what I mean.
When you're allowing corrupt people
it's clearly
to pick who their district is.
So one of the things I talked to you about when you're in town, I don't know if you ever watched documentary Century of the South.
Oh, yeah, I
series
love
on the
this. Let's
BBC.
go. Yeah.
But in there, they talk about a guy named Walter Lippmann. And Walter Lippmann, back in the 20s, after the Russian Revolution, said, listen, we just can't trust these people. Humans are animals. They are fucking animals. When they lose their shit, they are animals. We cannot trust them to think. We can't trust them to vote. We just can't. And that's when they decided to create the deep state, the people that really run the world that you'll never know about. He was an advisor to Wilson, many presidents. And when they decided this, they basically, instead of overtly saying we're a fascist country or we're a dictatorship, they just kept saying, sure, we're a democracy, and telling people that. Other countries would just be like, we're a monarchy, we're a dictatorship, we're a fascist country, whatever you want to say. We were the first to lie about it outright, and other countries went, oh. So if you watch all that stuff and all that footage and interviews from 30s, 40s, 50s, they were widely acknowledging, even back then, that's the way the show ran. And people still to this day, believe they're in a democracy. They're not. I mean, look what happened to Bernie Sanders. And the thing is with Bernie Sanders and the DNC, he had to know. He had to be on board with it. How the hell could this guy win the election, not be given the nomination, and still stick with these people? Yeah, he's on board.
Yeah, he was doing really well. Apparently, he's not a good listener because he got a black eye.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then you remember they were starting to leak out corruption against his wife, that she had done some illegal shit. She'd taken money, and that's when it died. They're like, okay, we're out.
I was about to say, they got to have some blackmail on him, too.
Of course. Dude, look how long he's been in, dude.
Imagine what you got to see of him. What do they have of him?
Dude, how about the famous, well, it's not famous because a lot of people don't know about, but supposedly Shia LaBeouf's sister, she says that she's his sister, talked about how her parents ran like some freaking sex trafficking ring, and that allegedly, I hate even saying his name, but she says it in the video, Larry David. Allegedly.
A ring?
No, that Larry David was participating in the things. Allegedly.
Could be. I mean, that's another one coming up soon. When it comes to Chicago stuff, is Peacock has a John Wayne Gacy series coming out. I don't know if you've ever listened to Clown and the Candyman or any of that stuff about how Gacy was part of a national network. He was not acting alone here in Chicago. It's going to be interesting to see if this Peacock series addresses that, or they try to stick with he was just a guy by himself doing this.
I started watching it. It's kind of like the Dahmer one. It's very well. It's
the Peacock one is out?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they mention anything about that or no?
No. I haven't finished it. I just watched 1 or 2. To see, it's like I think it's a parter, right? It's like I think there's like 2-3 parts of it.
No idea. I don't watch it.
I can't watch that shit.
It's so popular now. I mean, they were just one after the next. It was Dahmer. They did the multiple Ted Bundy movies.
It's so dumb. I don't know if you ever watched that one thing that Candace Owens did about that Making a Murderer series and how it was all BS. Oh my God. I can't take Netflix series ever again. Terrible.
So this cat named, excuse me, guys, Ray William Johnson on YouTube. And I think he's the perfect style of YouTube. Like, he's just really great breaking down stories in 8 minutes, and he uses AI pictures, and it's really entertaining. I watch a lot of his videos. And he did something on John of God. Did I already talk about this on the show, Johnny? I know I talked about it.
I don't recall.
Okay. So he does a story on John of God because his wife's mother was going blind, and she went there to get John because she saw these stories on him, go down to Brazil and have him like fix her eyesight. And what he did, he just scraped her eyes. It's like really crazy, weird. He's not even a doctor. So anyways, he goes deep into his story, and it basically starts that John of God dropped out of school at first grade, just learned how to manipulate people and became this giant guru there. And he gets into that eventually. There's a lot of essaying going on, a lot of essaying. But he never gets into what really got John of God in trouble, which I found interesting in his video, was that John of God was creating a baby factory the way Epstein was, where he was getting all the women pregnant, basically taking the baby and then unaliving the women. And you know that involved organ harvesting. Of
course.
But he never mentioned it in his video.
Yeah, narrative control.
Narrative control. And again, we say this all the time on the show, but that's exactly what they did with Epstein. Epstein was about banging hot high school chicks. Dude,
well, I don't know if you saw the Son of Sam. There's a great book. Oh, man, what's it called? But Netflix did a series on the book, and they left out everything that was vital in that series, in that book. It's narrative control. They want to neutralize the story, so they give you their version of it, and then people repeat it because they saw it. But that Making a Murderer was a perfect example of it. If you watch what really happened in that case and what Netflix put on TV, it was ridiculous. They twisted it so bad.
Everything is narrative control.
It can be, yeah. That's why it's up to you, to
the
find out for
satanic
yourself.
panic thing was all narrative control.
Mm-hmm. And even with the Gacy thing, last week I made a post for my friends. I said, "Hey, I'm going on this podcast. What's some Chicago things I should talk about?" And I brought this up with the Gacy thing and the national link, and everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "You didn't know? They never heard it. They never knew."
What was the and what was the group he's associated with?
So there was a guy in Texas who was doing the same thing as Gacy, and he was connected with this guy in Dallas, and that guy ran a national pedophile ring and had calling cards with the names of all kind of people on them. The police, in that Clown and the Candyman series, they play the old news footage from the police that were interviewed, and they say, "Listen, there's names on here that if you saw would blow your mind. People you see on TV every day." All those cards disappeared. Where did they end up? Of all places, the State Department. Who knows what they did with them? Next is another guy doing the same thing, got busted in New Orleans. More cards disappeared. Now, the guy from Dallas, when he gets out of jail, reappears here in Chicagoland area. He gets put in jail, and he starts making his newsletter about trafficking kids out of jail and printing it in jail in Cook County Jail here and sending it to all the people that are still his clients. Okay? His assistant was this guy, Paschke. Paschke came with him from Texas up here, right? And that was his assistant in this national ring. Who did Paschke go to work for? John Wayne Gacy. What? So how does this guy who's involved with this national ring from Texas end up working for a guy here who's murdering and trafficking kids? I mean, come on.
It was 32 bodies, right?
Really?
Well, that's what they said, but my father-in-law is actually a retired cop and was there, and he said it was much more than that. Also with that, what they tried to do is they tried to take every missing persons case they had and just say, "Oh, there we go, we just solved them all. Gacy got them all." And one of our local stations here, WGN, actually interviewed a mom who had an independent DNA test done because they said her son was one of those, and she did the DNA test. It wasn't her son. So they tried to basically say, like, when they found those bodies, "Oh yeah, he did everything ever bad that happened in this city, every missing child, he did it."
Guys, are you tired of your wireless bill just being insane and not knowing exactly what you're getting? Well, guess what? There's a cure for your blues, and it's called Mint Mobile. Let me tell you about Mint Mobile. If you're still overpaying for wireless, okay, it's time to say yes to saying no. And Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no, as in no contract, no monthly bills, no overage, no hidden fees, no BS. And here's why I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for $15 a month. Ditch the overpriced wireless and their jaw-dropping monthly bills, unexpected overages, and hidden fees. Plans start at $15 a month at Mint. Okay, all plans come with a high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contracts, okay? So here's what, it's great. It's the best option out there, okay? It's phenomenal, dude. It's easy, it's peasy, it's the transfer's easy. They take care of you, and it's quality. It's as good as any other service. I'm telling you right now, if not better. Okay, so here's what we need you to do. If you're ready to say yes to saying no, make the switch at mintmobile.com/tinfoil. That's mintmobile.com/tinfoil. Upfront payments of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 GB on an unlimited plan. Tax and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. And we thank them for sponsoring the show. Hey, guys, real quick, man. Tonight, I want to give you my dates. Tonight, I'm going to be in Austin, sold out. Sorry. Then I'm going to be in San Diego. Then I'm going to be in New Orleans. Then I'm going to be in Vegas. Then I'm going to be in Minneapolis. Then I'm going to be, and I'm closing out the year in Morris Plains. Grab your tickets now. Go to Sam Tripoli. And then go to tinfoilhattshirts.com. It's a great way. New t-shirts all the time. If you got t-shirt ideas, send them to me. Only $20. Cheapest shirt show, the nicest shirts for the cheapest prices, and it's a great way to support the show. All right, let's get back to it. So when you say they had the cards with names on, those were people who were available or in the network, or people they
in the
wanted?
network, yeah, customers.
Whoa!
And then at Gacy's house, he had the same thing. He had cards, he had videos, he had everything, and all that disappeared too. And that's Terry Sullivan, the lawyer that represented Gacy, saying that. So all these people were connected. But if you check out that Clown and the Candyman, there was a Gacy in Detroit. There was a Gacy.
Internet guys.
Did we get too close? Okay, there's a Gacy in Detroit. There's a Gacy where else? You cut out right there.
Oh, New Orleans. I mean, there was Gacy's they found all over the country at the same time. They were all doing the same thing.
They got they were talking about how Dahmer, when he was in high school, he was on a field trip, and he called the White House, and they answered.
What? That's wild.
Yeah,
that's his days in the Army. I heard an interview with the guy in the Army that he used to abuse in the Army, and it was insane. He would keep raping and beating this guy's ass, and they just put the guy back in the room with him. And then when they got out of the Army, Dahmer went and found the guy wherever he was. If he was living in Texas, he went down there and found the guy.
Dude, that's why you have a gun. That's what guns are for.
Yeah, totally.
so two Dahmer ones. One, like I said, my father-in-law was a cop. He met Dahmer. One day, Dahmer came to the police station to file a report that his wallet got stolen at a bar. And he took the report. And we saw him on TV. He's like, holy crap, that's the guy's report I took.
Wow. Holy shit.
And my neighbor used to own my neighbor's been in federal prison several times for my business, not my home. And he used to own a business called the Bijou Theater that was in a shady part of town. It dealt with a lot of sex videos, gay stuff, whatever. But he got actually put in federal prison for sending obscene videos over state lines, which in the 80s or 70s would put you in prison. But now, who cares? But Dahmer got one of his employees. And what happened was he went down to the bar to pay everybody after work. There's two guys that work for him are laughing. He goes, what's going on? Oh, Mikey met this guy from Milwaukee. He wants him to come home with him. And we're telling him, go for it. Go party with him in Milwaukee. Well, Mikey came over with the guy. My neighbor shook his hand, said hi to him. They all talked. They went off to Milwaukee and never came back.
Oh
it turns
my God.
Wow.
So Stephen actually went up to Milwaukee with his employees to put up missing pictures because they knew the guy was in Milwaukee, and they were there when all this shit hit the fan. And that was one of the last victims.
You said your father, right, remembered him.
Yeah.
Was there anything? Did your father have an incredible memory, or was there anything notable about Dom?
Oh, it was my father-in-law.
Father-in-law. Was he like notable to him as something like a dark energy, or is it just he remembered that because he's got a good memory?
The best thing about him is he doesn't really talk about a lot of stuff and when he was a cop, but when he does, man, he'll just come out of nowhere with some story. You're like, what? There was a pizza place in a north side neighborhood that was Uptown is a rough neighborhood. They're gentrifying it, but it's a rough neighborhood. When Reagan shut down all the insane asylums and the nut houses, Uptown was the area that just kicked them all on the street. So Uptown was full of crazy people and it was nuts. And there was a pizza place there. And my father-in-law goes off for the weekend. He comes back. Internal Affairs is arresting him. He says, why am I being arrested? Your car was used to abduct the owner of this pizza place. He goes, what do you mean? I haven't been at work. Well, the owner of the pizza place was Grand Master of the KKK with a pizza place in the hood. Figure that out. And while he was off, 2 cops took his car, went and kidnapped the guy, drove him out to the middle of nowhere and beat him near death and left him out there.
Oh
and
my
the guy's footprints were in the trunk of kicking the trunk, everything. And my father-in-law was clear because he was off, but they used his car to do it.
Damn. Have you heard this?
His police car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he ever find out the cops that did it?
No.
Oh my God, they set him up. That's crazy.
Well, it was probably just he wasn't there and his car was there. They probably just, you know what I mean? Or maybe the people that were trying to figure out what happened thought they'd squeeze him. Maybe he knew something. I don't know. But he doesn't have any enemies. He's a very good dude. He's not a controversial person. But yeah, these people and the PTSD that they put up with in these jobs, the things they have to put up with is crazy.
Not kind of to this, but not really. Have you heard of the theory that led to these serial killers? That led in the back.
Yeah, I heard that interview with that lady.
Yeah, I don't know how serious that is, but it brings me back up to this, that there were crazier people back then. I don't know if lead has anything to do with it.
But I mean, people were doing this stuff before there was lead. I don't know if you ever read the book Psychopathus Sexualis. You know about this book?
No.
Oh man, it's from the 1800s, and it was a German doctor's diaries. And man, he dealt with necrophilia, foot fetishes, murderers, you name it. And it's all his diaries he kept from all of his patients. And it's crazy because you read it, and this is before lead, before internet, before all that, and all this stuff was happening back then.
Germans. God.
I think now we're just better at documenting it.
So have you ever heard the theory that the lead in the paint really isn't the problem? The reason they want to get lead out of paint is because they knew they were coming up with like ways to look through your walls.
Yes.
And that the lead blocked it.
Yeah, I have heard that.
Or it could be like the Wi-Fi too. Yeah. That's crazy.
But now, with the TVs that listen and all that, who cares?
We've given them all the information they could ever want on social media.
Charlie Robbins.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about was, one of the things I go to a lot of flea markets, estate sales and all that. It's always fun. And I love reading old Newsweeks and old Time magazines and whatever, and seeing articles from back in the day of stuff you just don't hear about anymore. And one of the ones I stumbled across a couple of weeks ago was Reagan in the 80s gave the CIA the ability to spy on Americans. And I find it hilarious when you see John Karaku on Joe Rogan talking about the CIA doesn't have the ability to spy on Americans. Like, okay, I have the article right here where Reagan gave them that power. He also gave them the power to take over businesses.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. And, so when the Snowden thing happens, I'm always find it funny that people are shocked that they were listening to our calls when it's like, why are you shocked? They always had this power. Hold on, I'm going to read you exactly what it says in this. It's hilarious. Here, it said, He will allow the CIA to infiltrate U.S. organization under procedures approved by the Attorney General and to influence the activities of U.S. organizations composed primarily of aliens believed to be acting for a foreign power. TikTok? There you go.
Dude.
Yeah, he will give the CIA covert operations to the United States if they are not. Yeah. So he gave them all the ability to do that. And then I don't know if you ever saw this thing that happened in 2017 called Operation Whistlepig. You know about this?
No, but I love the name.
Yeah, me too.
It's based on a whiskey. It's a whiskey name. So there was Customs and Border Patrol agents have the ability to do whatever they want. They can do anything when they're doing investigations. Anything. Look up this guy. His name was Jeffrey Rambo. He came out, and I know Rambo, great last name, but he came out when this all started coming out, and he spilled the beans on it all. But these Customs and Border Patrol agents have no leash. They could do anything. They could access any files. They could do whatever they want when they're doing investigations. Anything. So, when people make a big deal about Snowden, or like I said, John Karaku saying that, they don't have this ability, like, what? So I don't know. I just don't know why these people act like that.
They say one spook, always a spook.
Yeah, it's true. Absolutely. But,
because the idea is that everyone believes that the CIA is not allowed to operate in the United States, which we all know isn't true.
I mean, even if they try to pretend, we saw it with 9/11. They were just puppeting Saudi agents to get around that. I can't believe. I honestly am surprised that they even have that much regard for the rules, to do that.
Well, obviously they don't.
Yeah, I guess not.
That's just the theater of it, right? And
I guess.
Then the FBI gets blamed for everything. Oh, the FBI is corrupt, and then the CIA's just. Along with Mossad, along with MI6, they're all the same organization.
MI5 too, yeah, they're FBI.
Is it MI5 or MI6?
Well, MI6 is the foreign intelligence, and the MI5 is like their FBI kind of.
Oh, you want to hear a funny one about that? They try to act like they're not controlling or watching us, whatever. You ever hear of the Nudge Unit in England?
Nudge? No.
No, what is that?
That's their publicly funded government agency that controls your thinking. And they literally have a Wikipedia page. You can look it up. They have a website. It's called the Nudge Unit. And their whole thing is controlling people's thinking.
What's it, like a propaganda organization?
Yeah.
Is that? Okay. Fascinating.
It's like they don't even hide it.
Yeah, and even if you pass a law to stop that, they would just keep going. Remember,
it's a government agency. It's why you gotta pass a law to stop a government agency. It's a literal government agency that they're very public about. And people in England are like, okay.
Oh, sure. It's the Behavioral Insights team. Actually, if you look up that, it's the BIT.
Yeah,
BIT.
They're not even trying to hide it. They literally have a Wikipedia page.
Nice T-shirt there.
They have a website. They have everything.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, Insight Team. Look at that. Also known as Nudge Unit, is a UK-based social purpose organization that generates and applies behavioral insights to inform policy and improve public services. What an interesting way to say that, huh?
Read the next sentence.
Using social engineering as well as techniques in psychology, behavior economics, and marketing. The purpose of the organization is to influence public thinking and decision making in order to improve compliance with government policy and thereby decrease social and government costs relations.
Okay, the Nazis did win, actually. Okay, because this is just the continuation of the propaganda.
The Nazis won, dude.
Yeah, Goebbels.
Everyone thinks.
But it's literally, they just have a wiki. They don't even care. It's like they just have a public page. Yeah, we're controlling your thinking. Like, we're manipulating your thoughts.
Yeah.
What? I mean, and they're and in the UK, they're just.
Oh, look who's the owner! Look who's the owner. Are you guys surprised?
Owner.
No, you're thinking Nestle.
No.
Who's Nesta?
It's a charity. Huh? Oh no, never mind. Yeah, you're right. I thought it was something else. No, you're right.
No, yeah, it is a charity.
Yeah, but he was.
Here they're a little more subtle about it.
Okay.
One of the things I find hilarious is
how does it have an owner though? What is? So this is not It must not be a government organization.
It is. It's a UK. They have shell corporations, or they have
it's
that
kind of like a
layer of
public-private thing.
whatever.
That's so interesting.
Public-private partnership, whatever you'd like to call it.
Wow. Originally set up, in 2010 within the UK Cabinet Office to apply nudge theory within British government. It expanded into a limited company in 2014 and is now fully owned by the charity Nesta. So it started within the government, and then I bet they legally it helped them get around some rules by moving.
Well, you know about the City of London?
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah.
I mean, there you go. All you gotta do is go locate it in there, and you can do whatever you want. Go a block away. Go rent a space in there and open your office. Do anything you want. But this is the funny thing about this is we have our version of it, but we try to be a little more subtle about it. Tulsi Gabbard, people eat her up. Dude, she worked for the fucking PSYOP unit of the army. Yeah. She's a PSYOP.
Yeah,
she's literally a PSYOP. If you look at her Wikipedia.
They literally love her because she sounds like phone sex. She's the only female
she
that
looks
could
like
run
phone sex too,
because you could tolerate her voice.
Yeah, she does.
But literally on her Wikipedia, it said,
"We're getting too close."
Tulsi
bro.
got him, bro.
Tulsi got him, dude.
Sam.
Yes.
Do you know about Sean Penn and depleted uranium?
No.
So, Iraq War. Here's the USA. We're taking depleted uranium weapons there and shooting them off. Do you know what depleted uranium weapons are?
What?
Yeah.
There, when they make nuclear power, the waste at the end of the process of these nuclear rods, these uranium rods that are highly radioactive, but it's the hardest metal on Earth. Some genius decided, you know what we could do with this metal? We can make tank shells. Nothing can stop them. That's what depleted uranium weapons are, and they're banned because they're highly radioactive. This is where you get your Gulf War sickness from these soldiers handling these and not knowing the right way to handle them.
They put in the armor too, in the military vehicles. So these guys are just surrounded by the shit driving around.
So Gulf War comes, we go shoot all our nuclear waste over in Iraq and leave it there. And as a result, all these nomadic people in Iraq started developing these horrible cancers. 9-year-old girls with ovarian cancers, birth defects, you name it.
Oh, damn.
I saw a documentary on this. There used to be a channel called the World Link Channel. And this, my person I knew at the time, used to call it the Depressing Channel because they said it was all just documentaries about depressing stuff. Fort Benning, Georgia, they had a big documentary on there about that, the Diego Islands, all that stuff. But the depleted uranium one was Sean Penn went against the State Department and went over there and went to the hospitals. And he documented this. The images are burned in my brain. He went in these hospitals. He showed these deformed babies. He showed these poor girls with cancer. They went over the whole thing. It's gone. You can't find that documentary. You could search and search and search. It is gone. You can't even find a mention of it on the internet.
Interesting.
It is fucking
Is it on
gone.
the Wayback Machine?
No.
I've looked. It's not on there.
See,
I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, I think Sean Penn certainly thinks he is trying to do good, probably.
No, I think
you could find. I did find on YouTube,
but he's trying
a video of him visiting that hospital, and I have that on YouTube. But the documentary itself is wiped. It is gone. If they don't want you to find
He's
something,
a useful idiot, Johnny. He's totally used.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying I think he thinks he's. I don't think he knows he is. That's what useful idiot is.
So the
That's
great
thing about
example
them
of
is that
that
they
would
don't know.
be El Chapo. Like
Totally. Yeah.
he goes
No,
and visits
yeah.
El Chapo, and then they grab him.
Yeah.
well, next time you hang out with them, Sam, ask them about that documentary.
I never hang out with Sean Penn, dude.
Good friend, you know you are.
I hate actors. I want to get in some international corruption. One of the stories you told me about was about Fort Knox. Can you get into that?
Yeah. So another great old, just like the old magazines, the old documentaries from the 80s and 90s and stuff are just amazing. The Aaron Russo documentaries, if you ever seen any of those, America, Freedom to Fascism.
Where he talks about how all the Illuminati, he was in with them, and they're like, "Oh, dude, we're just going to destroy everybody."
Well, Freedom to Fascism is about how income tax there's no law saying you have to pay it. There's none. Back then, there were all these freedom groups going to D.C. with hundreds of people just trying to protest this. And he actually interviews IRS, people on there. And at one point, I think they had a $50,000 challenge if somebody could show them the law that says you have to pay income tax, and nobody could provide it. That's a really good one. That's on YouTube.
in courts. They'll throw you in jail, even if there's no law.
Yeah, well, he gets into all that. It's a good documentary. But another one's called Money Masters, and it's from the late 80s, early 90s. And in it, they talk about a bunch of stuff that I've, of course, never heard up to that point in my life. Like Roosevelt made all Americans turn in their gold back in the 30s because of the war. All Americans, it was illegal to own gold. You can only have like a small amount of it. You could not own a lot of gold. Where did it all go? Fort Knox, right? So here comes Nixon, and he wants to get us back in the gold standard. He wants to go see Fort Knox. Gold's gone. We had one of the biggest stashes of gold in the world at one point. Gold's gone. What happened to it? Well, I believe it was the Wall Street Journal got a letter from a secret whistleblower saying the Rockefellers shipped it all overseas to their friends in banking. Okay. Well, it comes out the next day. This causes a huge stir. The next day it comes out who the whistleblower was. It was Nelson Rockefeller's secretary. Next day, she fell off her balcony. Oops. End of story.
Who's the famous, somebody's famous sister just fell off a fucking balcony?
It was Mitt Romney's sister-in-law?
Yeah. Very interesting. So bring it back to the Fort Knox story. What did Trump say and Elon Musk say? Let's audit Fort Knox. And then that story
they shut
died.
that down right quick.
Yep. Yeah.
You guys think it's empty?
Yeah.
Nobody's keeping a list anymore of all these things. When you look back at these things from like 10 years ago, all the crap that they say, and then it just vaporizes. They never follow through because that's the other thing. We don't know what happens behind the scenes. Maybe somebody does get in trouble. Maybe somebody is in a Guantanamo prison somewhere. Who knows? We don't know.
Dude,
but we never get to see Eric Swalwell. And these people they paint as being the big, China manipulated people. We never see them put in prison. A great one is another older. Again, I urge people, put down your phone and find these great old books about this stuff. Year of the Rat is a great book about the Clintons and how they're funded by China. Did you ever read this book?
No.
So our mayor, Daley, and his family, one of the brothers, Bill Daley, was actually Clinton's chief of staff. And he's the one that blew the whistle on this. But Clinton had a Chinese national that he put in the Commerce Department and gave full security clearance to. And this guy was just taking everything from our Commerce Department, going across the street to this Chinese bank and just giving it all to him. And Bill Daley was like, why do we have a Chinese national in our Commerce Department with access to all of our, country's financial doings? That happened. Look it up. And also, Al Gore at the time got busted for taking, campaign contributions from a Chinese group also. But that book has all about how the Chinese funded Clinton.
And it's crazy because when all the scandals, the many scandals, but later on when Hillary was trying to run, they busted her. She was using a private phone, and every email she sent was automatically duplicated and sent to a Chinese shipping company in real time. Everything she sent.
Yeah. I mean, all these people in higher government are probably
traitors. They're all traitors, dude. They're all traitors. They all
with Obama when he got elected, the email from the head of Citigroup telling him who his cabinet was going to be, and every one of them ended up on his cabinet.
And Citigroup is connected to the Saudis.
Yeah. Then they basically told him, this is who your cabinet's going to be. Said, okay, put them all in.
And then you get back to Mark Maron interviewing Obama while Obama's working for the Saudis. I mean, like, what are we doing, Mark?
He's a Democrat, dude. I mean, that's as simple as that.
Yeah, but it's just like it destroys your credibility.
Well, the thing that sucks is there's really people I think would be smarter, but good-hearted people that want to believe that these are the right people. And they don't want to see the bad sides of them. They just want to, and they're good-hearted people, and I hate it. I am surrounded by them. I know all kind of people that are good-hearted people that fall for all this BS.
It's like
and, when you try to tell them or show them anything, that, oh, Ben, you're so simple. I'm like, okay.
Are you a spiritual man at all?
I I believe in the universe. I don't believe in a person and a certain specific person or anything. There's more of like a energy maybe that connects us all, you know?
There's a lot of people talking about the end of the Kali Yuga, this kind of move from low vibrational to high vibrational. Do you put any weight into that?
I have no idea what you're talking about, honestly.
Well, this whole theory that we're in the densest time of existence right now, and that's why everything's so dark, and that it's coming.
But the thing is that's our world that we talk about, that we experience, is so shut off from the rest of the world. They don't give a fuck. They don't know what we're going through right now. They don't care. They're in their worlds. You know what I mean? So, like, when I meet people from other countries or other stuff, what they're talking about is stuff that we don't even like. What are you talking? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? You're 110% inundated every day, all day with what's on your phone. These people have a whole different existence. So maybe that is existing in your world, but in these other worlds happening on this planet at the same time, no.
Although you do, I mean, you don't have to attach that to spirituality. I mean, there's that book. Remember The Fourth Turning, about the different cycles of humanity and history that we see. I don't think it necessarily has to be bound to any kind of.
Do you think do you think that we're coming out of a cycle, Johnny, or do you think it's like?
I think we're going into the fourth turn, the one where.
the bad one.
And what happens in the fourth turn?
Well, okay, I'll give you a summary here. If you want to know, this is the book by what's the guy's name? William Strauss. And it describes like World War II would be one of the conflict cycles, and they kind of come around. I'll give you all the turnings. What are the turnings?
So it's going to get worse.
Well, I mean, I hate that's a weird way to put it, right? It depends on what you value, I guess. But the first turning is the high, where the themes are confidence, unity, institutional strength. This is when a society is emerging from a crisis. So this would be like after 9/11, I guess you'd say, like where everybody's coming together. This would be another example is like post-World War II or the Civil War Reconstruction era. And the generations in charge at that time will be like the civic or hero generations. The second turning is the awakening. This is when there's spiritual renewal, questioning of authority. Institutions are strong, but seen as stifling. People seek personal authenticity. This would be like the 60s and all that social unrest. Or the Great Awakening in the 18th century, the 1700s. The prophets are in charge during that time, like the baby boomers. The third turning is the unraveling. That's a mood of cynicism, fragmentation, individualism over community. Institutions are weakening, cultural wars and distrust are rising. I think that's what we're in right now. And this would be like the culture wars and the market-driven 80s to 2000s and the Gilded Age before the Great Depression. The nomad generation like Gen X would be in charge then. And then the fourth turning is the crisis. That's upheaval, existential conflict, national rebirth. Old systems collapse. People rally behind collective survival and rebuild a new order. This would be examples including the Great Depression and World War II, the American Revolution. And then this is, again, the hero generation again. We rebuild and stuff. And I think we're approaching that, yeah.
It's just going to be collapse.
Well, yeah, but it leads to rebirth is the idea, eventually.
Bring it.
Dude, I say it's got to get... That literally is exactly everything I say. It's got to get worse before it gets better. You have to get, especially the rich kids, out of their comfort zone so they start feeling real world consequences.
When does that ever happen, though, outside of...
But it could be happening if the media tells you it's not. They say, okay, it's not.
Yeah, that's
here in Chicago, we'll have 60 people shot in a weekend, and on the south side, but people on the north side will be like, it's fine here, everything's great.
That's
if 6 people got shot in that neighborhood, they would be tripping. 60 get shot on the south side.
That's like war zone numbers. That's crazy.
Yeah, they don't care. They to them everything's nice.
Yeah,
and the images just don't matter anymore, huh? That was the great thing about the news in the era of Vietnam, bringing home those images for the first time. But now we've just become so desensitized to
the real problem,
imagery.
Johnny, is that people look at the world as a meritocracy, that people are doing their best to get the best done. And our news is so not like that. our news really is curtailed to program you into a certain view. So that's why everyone.
Well, I mean, look at the 60 Minutes with Ray Epps. You know, like the interview, the guy just said, you know, did you send text messages to your nephew saying that you orchestrated this whole thing? Yes. Did you orchestrate the whole thing? No. Okay, sounds good. You're clear.
You're so right.
Totally credulous. Yeah, I mean,
but the way the whole thing, like people would rather believe it's climate change that caused all these LA fires than the arsonists they've been arresting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They
rather brainwash you with a narrative. They want to stick with it. They can't deviate from the narrative.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about, like, okay, are you following this story? I want to talk about BS, and we can still, but the Pentagon attempting to require journalists that have access at the Pentagon to sign this kind of like a pledge almost to not leak information and stuff. And I think even Fox News, they all the news networks and the newspapers got together and said, "Hey, you guys, we're not."
Well, do you know the Jeff Gannon story?
No.
Yeah, no, I don't know that.
Jeff Gannon was this
rich
journalist during the Bush years that just kind of appeared in the press pool, and all of a sudden he had the highest level of clearance. And every question he would ask Bush was like, stuff equivalent of, why are you the best president ever? And why don't people acknowledge how great you are? Like real fluff stuff. And everyone's like, who is this guy? Where'd he come from? I don't know how it happened, but somebody found him. He was a male escort. In DC.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
And he transformed into this in how he got this clearance and how it all happened.
Now, which president was that for?
Bush. It was Bush Jr.
Oh, yeah. But the Bushes are associated with the Lincoln scandal or the, what's the scandal out of Nebraska?
Oh, yeah.
Boys Town scandal.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Is it the Lincoln scandal?
Lincoln is in Nebraska.
When it comes to controlling, who's asking the questions and stuff, they're just trying to exert that control more.
But they love inserting gays in everything, dude. It's like they're controlled. They're part of the crew.
It is curious, though, that even as kowtowed and, whipped as the journalism industry is right now, they still want more control, or at least on the face they do, the Pentagon.
I mean, like, Oracle is buying up all the news, literally buying
crazy,
it all
dude.
up. It's so
actually you'll have the AI stories too that'll be created by AI. It won't even be a human making
It's already happening in sports. Yeah, you're seeing it like MLS. I was talking about this the other day. MLS, all of their gamers now, their game stories are written by AI just instantly. They're they take the stats, collate them, and spit them out, and those are the people that really thought they were safe from automation. You know what I mean? But the truth is, there's nowhere to hide.
They're taking over everything, even podcasting. Some guy literally made a full podcast with AI.
Dude, there are YouTube channels now, and I just started noticing it recently, but I realized now that it's been happening for years, and I just didn't notice it, that are AI-generated history channels, and we talked about it the other day, where you'd be really hard-pressed to find a distinction between it and like a Ken Burns documentary. It's just all.
The way I always figure it out that it's AI, not a human, is they mispronounce words.
But it's gotten much better at that. It is much better. I totally agree. That used to be an obvious thing. The thing I know now is that it repeats things a bit too more than an actual human would. But we're moments in the grand scheme of thing away from it being perfect. Just pitch.
It's funny in the tattoo world. I have people send me art and then it'll be it's AI art because you look at it and like I had a guy send me a Jesus and I'm like, did you want your Jesus to have 6 fingers? And they'll be like, what? And I'm like, look at your picture you sent me, and it's like, oh shit. Or I had another one. It was a person with 3 wings instead of 2. There's all kind of the AI art is
third wing
obvious. You
might actually be in the one industry that's safe from AI, because there's not, AI can't actually put a tattoo on somebody until, those robots come to bear. I think
they tried to do that in Austin.
There's
tattoos? A shop there that was doing tattoos with a machine. It was like $10,000 for the tattoo the size of like half a postcard maybe. And it was like this photo perfect thing, or proposed to be. It showed a tattoo it did supposedly. And it's like, so it could do like, let's say a picture of the Mona Lisa on 3 of you guys. It would look exactly the same on all 3 of you.
Who wants that?
It would be perfect. $10,000 a piece. I don't think it worked out because I was in Austin in June and I looked for this place. I could not find it.
Oh, good.
So I don't feel
let's
like,
get into your tattoos. You have a really great charity. You want to tell us about it?
Oh yeah, so I started this charity called Ink Relief. I was approached about a year ago to start doing cover-up work for victims of human trafficking, where their abuser's name will be on their body, and they obviously don't want that on there. So I offer that service for free to help get rid of that off their bodies. The big challenge, this is all new to me, is trying to find people to help pay for this. I know people that run charities that get money from McDonald's, casinos. They get really nice donations that help fund their charities. And I'm like, I guess you just beg people. So I send letters, all kind of people, and emails, and nothing back.
Do you have a GoFundMe
I'm
or
working on
something?
that. What's that?
Do you have a GoFundMe?
I haven't done that yet. My website is inkrelief.org. You want to hear something funny about that? Did you know anybody can make a .org website?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you had to have a charitable status or anything. No. Anybody can make a .org website without
sure
anything.
Sam has about 8 of them.
No, I don't have any orgs.
You don't have any orgs? Oh, okay.
I don't buy orgs.
So I don't understand the point of a .org if you don't need any designation. But anyway, it's called inkrelief.org. Anybody wants to go to it.
How many have you done?
Oh, wow. There's some great examples on here. This is...
Yeah, those are some of the cover-ups I've done helping these people. If you scroll down, you can see them there.
Yeah, he's bringing it up.
Oh, wow.
There you go. So, yeah, it's getting rid of these things. But, I went to a resource fair for these victims the other day, and you really don't have any idea until you go to one of these things about the things they need help with. There's people there helping them expunge their records. There's people there helping them open bank accounts, helping them fill out job applications, housing. There's a lot that when you come out of that world, you need help with. One of my friends is on the board of my charity. She worked for DCFS for 20 years, just retired. And I mean, she would get the call like, hey, we got one out at the airport. It'll be a hotel room with like 5 girls from Tennessee. No IDs, no phones, no anything. Just used and left there. Lured there over the internet, and she'd be the one to have to go get them and help them get home. So there's a lot of people that find themselves in these scenarios. It's terrible.
And then I imagine a lot of them are facing deportation after that too. Now
no, these are girls from like here.
Oh, this is like white slavery. Oh,
yeah, totally.
Holy
no,
shit.
I have a friend who is from Minnesota, and this is funny. So this is another. See, I'm not crazy one. I would tell people about how every municipal vehicle has this thing the size of a pop can. It's a license plate scanner. Every ambulance, bus, cop car, they're scanning plates constantly. Nobody believed me. It's true.
That's
People looked
crazy.
into it.
I didn't.
Yeah. So I'm in Mexico on vacation. I'm an early riser. I get a message on my phone. It's like 6 a.m, right? And it's this mom I know from Minnesota. Her daughter and a friend got pulled into one of these things, and they were in a nasty place in Chicago in the suburbs. The abusers would call, let them speak on the phone with her for a minute, and then take her off the phone. And she got nowhere. Police wouldn't do anything. No one would help her. So she's like, I am driving down there getting my daughter. I'm like, whoa. You are not driving to that neighborhood in Chicago getting your daughter. Let me make a call. Again, it's like 6 a.m. I call a friend of mine who's a police officer, is involved with other stuff too. I inform him what's going on. He says, listen, you tell her to call the Center for Missing and Abused Children. They will move so quick on this, it will make your head spin. Okay, I tell her. How long do you think it was till the cops were at that door getting those kids?
I hope it was right quick.
What do you think? This is like a weekday at like 6 a.m.
I don't know.
Under 20 minutes? Under 20 minutes?
10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. With the license plate scanners and stuff, they knew where they were. The police were there within 10 minutes, banging on the door. Oh, I could show you on my phone the text message chain. You can see the times on it.
Crazy. So any of these, I mean, that makes me think that all these manhunts are just fake then. Like,
yeah, totally. Like when the 2020 riots were happening and all that, and they're like, these people are driving around my city, burning stuff and breaking windows, and they couldn't do anything about it. Come on. They knew exactly where those cars were.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude, that's crazy.
Who was that white shooter? that killed two, that pedophile, they had like infrared vision on that case. If you guys know who I'm talking about, you guys remember he got away with it. The pedophile, the guy that got shot the guy in the hand.
Oh
with the
yeah,
skateboard.
the Kyle Rittenhouse.
They had like they had like up top drone action. They knew exactly what happened there. That's why they let him out.
Yeah, but when they, that one guy was in San Bernardino who had the phone, they said they couldn't crack the guy that was the
that story is bullshit.
They have backdoors into everything. One of my customers is a federal investigator. These people will tell you everything. They don't care. They tell you everything. Tor, the thing to protect your internet browsing, they said they get through Tor no problem. That's not even a problem for them.
That's why I do.
They can
You see all
everything.
these things that like protect. I'm like, even like I mean, like, oh, this is an unhackable phone. I'm like, dude, don't get in on
You know about this term parallel construction?
No.
Look into that. So parallel construction is when they use illegal means to investigate something.
Oh, yeah.
And then they construct how they found it backwards after they find the information.
Totally.
What happened was there's a secret program where the FBI was paying Best Buy technicians cash money to go through people's computers and find stuff and turn people in. They're paying them a reward. So what happened, they turned in this guy who was a dentist in California, said he had child computer. And that's the problem, is once you make an incentive to find things, you're going to bet people are going to find it. If you look into this, it'll blow your mind. The first articles about it, oh, this guy had thousands of images of child computer. He's a terrible person, right? He fought it. He had the might to fight it. It ruined him. It ruined his business and ruined him, but he fought it and won. You know what it ended up being? A cookie from an ad that was on his computer of a 12-year-old girl in a bikini in a pool. That's all that was.
How does that happen, though?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, how does that get conflated for what,
because
thousands of
they want it. They want convictions. They want to be able to say, like, we're busting child these people.
100%.
And, these guys turned this guy in and said he had all his child computer. Whatever. I don't know what happened. The FBI guy was like, sure, great. Gave him his reward. Started prosecuting. Oops. He has one cookie on his computer from an ad. Well, now we can't look stupid. Let's just keep pushing it. But the same investigator I tattooed told me how, they get a big name, they'll bust them, child, everything. They have everything on this guy. They think it's going to be all over the news on, the next day. Nothing. They never see another thing about it.
It's crazy, dude.
It's all the time. So one of my friends works in tech, and he worked at a big law firm here in town. And this law firm has branches over the world. And him and the other techs all have to sign, non-disclosure agreements. They actually have competitions, him and the techs around the world for this law firm, of whose boss has the worst computer.
That's crazy.
Child.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they can't go to the news about it. So that's the only way they deal with it, is they have to laugh and be like, oh my God, my boss is so disgusting. This was on his computer.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And these guys aren't making this up. This is like what they deal with every day, I've had clients who work at the Mac store, same thing, they can't go to the police with what they find on these computers.
Why? Because what, they're legally bound or is it?
Yeah.
Else? Okay.
Jesus. Let's end it on this, dude. You want to talk about experts? Like in how everybody acts like they're an expert, but they don't know shit.
Well, that's what I was speaking of earlier with, the John Karaka was saying CIA doesn't listen to people's calls, and like they do, But another one that's really funny is, like I was telling you about how you don't know what's happening in other people's worlds because the news doesn't tell you, and you don't have any access to it. One of my friends she works for the Biden administration in the Labor Department, but she was a professor in a college in Mexico. And you know what the PRI is?
No, what is PRI?
It's a party, right?
It's like the DNC in Mexico.
Yeah.
They're big. They're huge. Okay. If you watch, didn't Narcos do a whole thing about the PRI? I believe they did, where they rigged an election to get their guy in. They're huge. So basically, there was a journalist down there that went undercover to the PRI, acting like a young girl wanting a job. And the lady who was the head of the PRI's assistant who would interview these women was basically telling them, listen, you're going to be expected to have sex with him. You're going to be expected to do all this stuff. Interviewing young girls for these jobs, right? So it's
got too close.
Big scandal down there. Of course, if you even Google it, good luck finding this, right? Expose the head of the PRI. So that'd be like exposing the head of the DNC, saying if you want this job for the president, you'd be ready to suck, whatever, do some whatever, right? Now here's where it gets great. The lady, her name was Sandra Vaca, disappears. No one knows what happened to her. She doesn't get prosecuted. You know where she resurfaced? In Mexico City, being appointed the head of Child Protective Services.
Oh man, that's like that Laura Silsby,
yeah, totally.
Laura Silsby. Yeah, she got busted at in Haiti. Now she's running Amber
kids.
Alert in Florida.
Yeah. So but the thing is that go Google it. You won't find it. Maybe Xavier will in Spanish.
Talk
Googling,
to some people, dude.
Who
go
you
to
tell
Mexican
people about this
Google.
stuff, they can't find it.
What is Mexican Google?
It's asking your cousin.
Yeah. No, this is you have to type all your searches in Spanish probably to get the results.
Ben, great episode, dude. Was a wonderful
thanks for having me,
dude.
man. I'm
Anytime,
so happy.
all the time. You're a great
and I
guy.
think I safely had a good episode. And I heard this is the highest paying podcast on the internet, so I can't wait for that check.
The check's coming, dude. It's in the mail. It's already there. It's in pesos, but it's there.
Love it.
Ben,
all right, inkrelief.org. Please donate. Help out these women.
No, we'll keep the link in there. We'll talk. I'd love to help you with that. And
It's a great
you got your Instagrams, you got your Twitter, you got anything else?
No, just be really nice to people, please. Like, you don't know what people are going through, So if someone's being a jerk or whatever, try to resist. Be nice. Let's keep this place as nice as we can.
Amen.
All right, brother. We love you. Let's break down the episode. Ben don't pull no punches.
I like them.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a gun. He has to because he has no gun.
I don't know how you don't have a gun living in Chicago.
Especially after sending a video.
Yeah,
like
especially if your friend's like, they kidnapped my kids. I'd be like, okay, I'm just running to the gun shop real quick before I start blasting people.
Yeah, that's so funny, dude. My girl's mom is like as left Democrat anti-gun as you can get, and as soon as she got the Citizen app, she was like, "We need to get a gun."
Yeah, 100%, dude.
And I'm with them. You don't want to kill anybody, but you also don't have to. Just shoot them or scare them.
Here's the thing. This is not anti-Ben either.
No,
I love
of
Ben.
course.
But it's like, I don't have a gun to kill people. I have a gun so people don't kill me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Totally. It's a
That's
major
all.
deterrent.
I got daughters. Kicking the door, blazing the 4-4, pop, 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 and that song right there.
Or I could see you just going. And they turn
but I really
around
want to
quick.
use my AK.
You don't want to use that in a home. That's not great for a home intruder kind of situation.
Really?
Well, yeah, because it's not as maneuverable. Also, but that round is just gonna.
I think I'm just gonna
blow right through the wall.
Just take my Fridays and just shoot my guns. That's all I want to do.
You miss, you end up shooting somebody across the street.
Well, I'll say kids get behind dead. Watch them.
I'm not talking about them. That round will go right
Watch
through the wall.
me send this guy back to hell.
Dude, my brother-in-law was just in his garage, and there's nobody within miles of us, dude. And these guys were shooting like more than a mile away, and it like right by his head, and that was 223, which is not all that different from the AK round.
What?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, they were just shooting out in the country. Everybody's out shooting on Sundays, and he was in his garage. And very far away. That's why you always have to shoot like those rifle rounds into like the ground or.
But he was really like it is. I mean, we all know elections are rigged, but that is insanity. Man, we don't want you running. We got this guy. He's gonna win. You're like
that. Oh, dude. I never heard. Had you heard that? I'd never heard that.
Dude, if anyone started asking me like such technical questions, but do you believe this is corruption? Okay, get the recorder out. Get the recorder out.
Yeah. Are you saying that you bought drugs from a prostitute on the corner of Sunset and La Brea in 1997?
Yeah, if a question is too specific, you know they're trying to get you to say something.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't care how hot you are. I don't want to. I'm not doing any of that.
Like that reminds me, like you've seen the pedophiles that get caught. That's how they talk to them. Do you want to come here? Like, it's so obvious. We're like, and they always show up. I was like, I kind of knew it was a sting. I'm like, yeah.
You like young girls, huh?
Yeah, they keep asking them, like, I'm 14. Like, it's like they keep telling them I'm 14. They're like, I'm still going to show up.
Yeah. I mean, it gets kind of crazy out there. I mean, but that guy's an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
That guy's an encyclopedia. Guys, go to samtripoli.com. We're going to be in Austin, sold out. San Diego, very excited. Here's what, and I know I'm going to go through this quick, but the Queen Bee is my first legit road gig that I ever did.
Oh, I thought you meant
when I first moved to LA. I opened there. Doug Benson, then some local singing black comic closed it out.
Is it the same venue or is it called Queen's Bee?
Yeah, it's the same venue. It's a huge venue.
Oh, that's what's up.
So I'm doing San Diego, New Orleans. Then I'm going to be in Vegas. Then I'm going to be in Minneapolis. Then I'm going to close out the new year in Morris Plains. And then if you're in the Atlantic City area, January 10th, I'm about to announce a big show. So go to samtripoli.com, all the videos. I'm putting up tons of premium content, 3 episodes a week. It's the best way to get my content. It's like I'm putting up the bangers, dude. I got Chad Zumach. Hey, dude, I need to do a buy chat for my Patreon. He's like, I want to talk about playing basketball with Adam Sandler. We'll do it, dude. So go check that out. Johnny, talk about Cash Daddies real quick.
Yeah, how he's, a couple weeks ago, it was kind of a rough week for the markets. And then, boy, have we turned it around there.
Do you like money? It's real simple.
It's right there.
Okay, right there. Yeah, don't you have to look at it?
I mean, that's his sell at least. But yeah, that's not great.
I mean, what are you doing, dude? Nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me.
But if these are good, imagine
dude, that's me celebrating that I'm now classified as an ethnic minority. That's me celebrating.
It's a big deal.
Hands up, don't shoot. That's what I'm doing right there.
That's a good jersey.
It's a big deal for us.
Go back to samtripoli.com. Yeah, there we go. And then Chaos Twins is coming. I think it's almost colored and done. Very excited about that. That should be coming out within a month or so. And then all of our affiliates, buy gold and silver, the Live Longer formula. If you want to get in shape, it's our good friend Christian Yardonoff, the Mineral King. Dude, I have to take my pills today. Back.
Sound like somebody's grandma. I got to take my pills.
I'm going to take my chemical-free body supplements. I love it. And then our friends. If you like the questions, he wasn't on point like he normally was today, but he's really good. Today must be the off week.
It's off week. How'd you know? See, you can tell, guys. You guys
could totally tell you had an off week because you couldn't remember anything you wanted to talk about. What was that thing that guy, he went over there?
You know what sucks?
He got shot in the arm.
You know what sucks is next week I got to come in hot now.
You got to come in hot.
I got to come in hot next week.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we got to keep your cycle on our
Listen,
little notes
you take Genius if you want to get smarter. You take Fleck if you want to get faster, and then you take Black Sack if you want a larger black dick. That's what you take.
The Black Stack. Yeah. The Black Sack.
Oh, Black Stack. Oh, sorry. You see what you want to see. Brain Supreme. Check it out. Anything else, guys?
Hit that like button. If you like this beanie, go to tinfoilhats.com and go get you these beanies. Go over there.
Good URL. Yeah. Broken Simulation is destroying the world of podcasting.
People love it. You know why? Because it's goofy.
Yeah.
It's my one goofy show, even though Johnny wants to make it completely political.
Yeah, the numbers immediately went up when we started doing more politics.
And I'm with Johnny. It's hard to get away from what's been on.
Yeah, how can you not talk about what's happening? I mean, that's what
I can talk about.
Well, remember we did a big poll, and 75% of the listeners
they want politics.
Yes.
You guys read reviews, right?
Yeah. 5 stars only.
5 stars only.
That's right.
Tim and Johnny are funny. Thank you. Yeah, dude.
What does that mean, Tim and Johnny?
I don't even know. I don't even care.
They might be talking about the episode with Tim Dillon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's probably it.
Well,
Johnny's a local celebrity on this show. I'm just a sidekick. I'm once again a minority pushed to the side.
You are. Look, juicy main course.
It's because he does a joke where presented by Johnny, and then everybody leans into that.
Yeah, because Johnny.
You're the main course.
Johnny runs
Much
everything.
love for Sam. Johnny,
read that down there. What it says? Good stuff. What is it saying?
Es divertido para toda la familia.
What does that mean?
It's good for the family.
Okay, good. Thank you.
It's for the family. Which
Thank you. I didn't even need you for that. Why you were the worst translator ever. Guys, yeah, so I thought it was a great show. I mean, it's fun to have your boys on, and it's not necessarily.
How'd you meet him?
He just hit me up on, he just had my number somehow.
Has he done any work for you? Like ink?
Yeah, he put a tat on me.
Nice.
Yep, I loved it.
Okay.
And it was a lot of fun. And so
that cause of his too is a very good cause.
I think that's a great cause, and I want to help. I want him to get behind it, dude. I want to help him.
I already did.
But that was great to hear that the missing people show up instantly.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing because I was expecting it 3 days later.
Wait, yeah, XG did the number one thing you don't do when someone is trying to ask you, like, yeah, how long do you?
Yeah,
you know,
XG
like,
bid $1.
20 seconds.
No, I said 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
XG bid $1. He was like $1. I'm like, this isn't Price is Right,
well,
asshole.
Kids are important. I was like,
Kids
you gotta
are
get there
important.
quick. This is kids situation.
Way to play the room, dude. Kids are important. Way to go deep
You got
on
us.
that.
You did get us there.
There you go, buddy.
Kids are
Great job
important,
on that. Kids are important.
But I mean, as much as you know how he said he likes to cover up tattoos of their pimps, that's real. Like girls on the street, they get their pimps' names on them, and you got to get that shit covered.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I thought about it. I was like, who's getting like?
Can you get those insights on XG files now?
Oh, yeah, you get a bunch of shit like that on the XG
By the way,
files.
XG
Yeah,
is now
this guy's charity
calling
is
his
real.
show the most educational hour. I don't know where you got that from. Where'd you get that from?
I thought it was the number one podcast.
It's everything. It's number one everything.
It's the number one podcast, number one educational podcast. I don't know where we ever heard that before. That's never.
Is that something you say? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the beginning of every single doom scrolling, the most educational hour on the internet.
I wasn't even trying to copy that.
Yeah, you were. Oh, you just happened to say the exact
I thought he
same
was talking
thing.
about Broken Sim somehow.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what he was talking
Yeah, see, he doesn't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Ben crushed it. Always a pleasure to have great guys on, and enjoy these highlights.
Crazy episode here for you guys. We did a bunch of doom scrolling. We ran into a video of this guy catching a lady of the night giving some head back in his house, and she gets out with a paintball gun. Then, for some reason, we ran into some video of some girl licking the toilet seat at the Now Center. For some reason, I don't know why, we got a bunch of lost out crazy ass chicks, a bunch of cheating ass whores. It's a crazy ass episode, guys. You guys can hear Ching laugh. It's a good one. We'll be right back, guys. Welcome back to the number one podcast in the world. It's your boy XG Marks the Spot, and like always, I got my number one producer / graphic designer, Chili Millie. Burp, 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 burp. What's up, guys? I had a lazy weekend. It rained. That's why I'm wearing a beanie season. So all I did was fuck, I can't even talk today. All I did was a bunch of doom scrolling. Like, all I did was send Chili shit, send the homies a bunch of shit. My girl wasn't on. She's like, get off your phone. But I sent you some good ones, huh, Chili?
Yeah, you did. You want to go straight into it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it. I don't have no rave events to show these people. Oh, look what I did today. Look what I did this weekend.
All right. So you sent me this one, which I thought was funny. Hold on. I'm just going to do it like this. Fuck it.
I just found a bag of meth over there.
Really? No, where?
Yeah, over there. I picked it up.
You did?
Yeah.
Like Pete Davis.
He did,
You
I
want
know. Like a
I get. I mean, we can go get.
What are you putting gloves on for?
What? Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt. Aw, you dog.
What?
I bet you that's on Carrot
What'd you
Were
think
you
it
giving
was?
those away, really?
I thought maybe a kid had lost
Oh,
it
my
or
God.
something. What's the matter? You're messing around with me, aren't you?
I thought you said bag of.
Oh, Lord, no. No, Lord, no. What's up with the clown? Huh? Got him. Love y'all.
Golly, you're
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. He looks like a crackhead.
He does.
He looks like 100%. You remember in the last episode, the girl that was dishwashed, the salesman for the dishwashers?
Yeah.
That looks like her son.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What state do you think that is?
Huh?
What state do you think that is? Because that other guy looked like a crackhead, too.
Wait up. It looked like what's the Nate Dogs?
What?
No, it's called Dogs on a Stick. Where's that restaurant at the mall? It looks like that restaurant. Or Lemonade.
Oh, Wetzel's Pretzels.
Not Wetzel's
Nate
Pretzels.
Dog.
The other one, or Dog on a Stick, or Hot Dog on a Stick.
Hot
or
dog
corn
on a stick?
Something like that. It looks like they work there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that fool was stoked.
It looked
He
like
thought-
a grocery store.
And it's so funny because he thought he was just gonna get free meth.
He was so excited.
He was so excited.
Like he found money on the floor
No,
or something.
he was so excited that someone else found it. That's how much of a crack kid you are. You're like, "Bro, he found it.
His
Fuck
eyes
yeah."
were all big.
Yeah, he's like he's gonna partake in the doing of that.
Even the other guy. That's funny. Have you ever had that happen?
I've never really found meth at work because I've worked at regular jobs. No, but one time it is crazy. I was working at this one restaurant, and like mid break, I go in the restroom and I go in there and I find a gun.
Really?
Straight up Glock. There, I'm trying to take a piss, and I look to my right and I see a gun, and I work there, so at the same time I know not to touch it. Because if I touch it, all of a sudden, I'm a suspect in whatever crime that gun participated in. So I sit there and I walk and I open the door. I'm like, yo, can you call someone? Call another coworker. Like, what's up? And I was like, just call someone, please. And then I was like, my bad. I meant like a manager.
Because I was like, you just need a witness?
My bad. No, my bad. I meant like a GM. My bad. Yeah, that's right.
Probably like, what?
No, I was called one of the GMs. And the GM shows up and he's like, what's going on? Like through the bathroom. And I'm like, yo, I found a gun in here. He's like, for real? And he's like, yeah. And I'm here because if I leave, like, let's say I leave to go tell you, and a kid walks in and now the kid has the gun and they're like, you fucking idiot. So I kind of like,
Could you imagine if a kid went in there and used the bathroom instead of you and then
Well,
that's scary.
And yeah, exactly. They're lucky. I mean, not that they're lucky, but thank God I found it.
They are lucky.
Yeah, thank God I found it. So I sit there and I'm like, because I could have easily just
at least
pocketed it.
Yeah,
I could have just pocketed it. I also could have just pocketed it.
Yeah.
I could have just stole it or not.
Sold it or something.
Or sold, but so
Damn, that would.
Yeah, so my GM shows up and he's like, so what's going on? I'm like, yo, gun in the bathroom. I don't want to be like a suspect, so I'm not touching it. And I mean, you touch it. I mean, you're the owner. This is your establishment. So you figure this out. Dude, while I'm talking to the fucking GM through the door, guy starts you can tell it's his gun. Like you can tell, when you've lost your keys or maybe you lost your kid and you're beelining it you can just see this guy and he kind of just move out the way. And then we're like, you're looking for your gun? And he's like, yeah, full undercover.
Oh my God.
You know how much in trouble he could have got? Undercover, left his gun. I guess he got to take a piss. He placed it down on the wherever you wash your hands or whatever, and he just walked out.
The sink?
Forgot, yeah.
You forgot what a sink was?
Hmm?
Did you forget what a sink was?
Whatever, Chili. Had a long weekend. In other ways.
That's funny.
But
funny.
yeah, no.
That's crazy. If a little kid found that and it was a cop's gun,
no,
you would have been paid.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, not if they shot themselves or something, but just having it.
Yeah, but
and
no.
then stole it,
I mean,
if you sold it
No.
and then you sold a cop's cop
Yeah,
a gun.
But I mean, like, what do you do as a cop? Who do you call? Hey guys, I lost my gun.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, or because you have to call the department at the end of the day. Because what if someone ends up using that in a crime?
Yeah.
Guess who's the first suspect? Yours. It's your gun. Why is your gun at that
establishment
or that shooting of so and so?
Yeah.
But you've never had anything like that. I mean, you ever
I
found meth?
drugs. Yeah,
You found baggies?
I found drugs at work, but then I just put it in a trash bag and throw it away.
What'd you find?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck.
Like pills, meth looking
pipes,
shit.
Pipes in the bag that they keep everything in.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, the
they'll hide
crackhead
it in
bag.
the aisles, because cops will come through, and then they'll hide it in the aisles. And then when I'm cleaning the aisles, I'll find the bags, but I don't know what anything is. So I just grab a glove, and a lot of needles. You find a lot of used needles. It's disgusting. I don't even work in a bad area, by the way. It
No.
sounds every time we talk about it on the show,
no,
it sounds like I
yeah.
work in some fucking Skid Row or
It's
I
just
work in Orange
LA's
County.
crazy. Like LA is just
Well,
in
I work in
general.
Orange County. I don't even work in LA.
I mean, I live in Glendale, super nice spot in,
Yeah.
in LA, and I can tell you about crazy moments where I've seen someone take a shit on the street.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just,
weird.
it's LA, it's horrible.
I saw this video of this cop, and I didn't send it to you because I wanted to save it to see what you thought. I thought it was funny. Hold on.
More cop shit?
More cop shit.
Dude, cops
Since
are
we're
always
talking
in the
about cops.
muck.
Dude.
My name's on it. Because this is my home, I pay the bills, the mortgage in my name. I'm just trying to figure out why when I pull in at 1 o'clock in the morning that there's a police officer at my house. Officer, what's your name and badge number, sir? Name and badge number, sir?
What are you doing?
Name and badge number, sir?
It's case
Case. Badge number?
6596.
That's it? All right, thank you, sir. Why were you dispatched out here tonight?
I wasn't dispatched.
Why was you called out here tonight?
Please come over.
One more time, what's your name and badge number?
Case order.
And you're putting on your uniform and everything?
What?
Yeah, y'all just got them fucking.
You're disgusting.
My son's in here sleeping, and
Disgusting, bro.
Vanessa, I'm filing a lawsuit, and you know I got the money, baby girl. My son's in here sleeping right now, and there's an officer that just got that. Hey, so what's the time, officer? Can you tell me the time right now?
Dude, she asked me to come over.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, and a number of other comedians decided to go to the Middle East and perform in Saudi Arabia. So let's go ahead and watch the video. The video is titled "Bill Burr Destroys His Reputation."
Beyonce and Mariah Carey actually did private New Year's gigs.
So this is Bill Burr speaking from a morning podcast in 2011.
For $1 million, did New Year's gigs for Gaddafi's kids. Can you that? How much?
In my opinion, I mean, Gaddafi, I don't know if we really made the right decision killing him.
We didn't.
I'm kind of the mindset that we didn't, if you want me to be honest.
We didn't, dude. And there's open air slave trades, and we'll get into that in 2
Need to
seconds.
make, you know? You're going to take a gig where you're going to go dance like a goddamn fucking clown for a mass murderer's kids?
Oh,
then you
no.
take that fucking France like a goddamn fucking clown for a mass murderer's kids? Then you take that fucking blood money and what he's done. You couldn't remember that he claimed he was behind the Pan Am bombings that killed fellow Americans? The f wrong with you?
The Royals
my
loved the show.
God.
Everyone was happy. The people that were doing the festival were thrilled. And yeah, it was just this great positive thing. And I got to tell you, just to be a part of that was fucking amazing. And the comedians that I've been talking to just saying like, dude, you can feel it. They wanted it. So it was a mind-blowing experience. Definitely top 3 experiences I've ever had.
All right, so after, here's my opinion on
You want me to
this.
stop here? Is this?
Yeah, you can stop.
It
So
just gets. It
I
doesn't
want
get
to
better.
kind of get into this, right? Why is it different than? Why is it different for comedians to go and do this versus, let's say, golfers and MMA people and boxing people? Well, the reason it's different is because comedians have made their bones constantly talking about culture. They've constantly talked about culture. It's kind of the meat and potatoes of comedy to comment on the culture in which we live in right now, right? And Johnny, will you also do me a favor real quick? Can you get on screen the top 200 comedy podcasts? I want to talk about this as well. So culturally, comedians have been basically given their take on culture, and many of them are discussing, right versus left paradigm. And many of these people who went have been discussing right versus left paradigms. And a lot of them have been, especially lately, have been leaning in to the left side of the discussion. So if you're gonna get political, which most comedy, a lot of it is, okay. So I want to get into this 2 seconds.
Oh, okay.
It comes off as hypocritical if you think Saudi Arabia had something to do with 9/11, and I've been very vocal that I think it's minimal. I think they were used as a smokescreen to really cover the people who were involved in it. And
I think they were used like a puppet, like the
100%.
CIA's hand up their ass, using so they could have boots on the ground in the United States.
100%. That's my opinion. It was minimal, if anything, at all. They were blamed for it, and they didn't even get any flack from it. Iraq and Afghanistan paid the price for it. Nobody, we've said this before, no one has a clue how Pete Davidson could go do it after what happened to his dad. Nobody knows. I mean, it's kind of crazy to me. Now, dude, I'm all about taking those. I mean, we're begging for gay dollars right now, so we're not above anything.
We're above going to Saudi Arabia, apparently.
Well, I've stated why I wouldn't go. My comedy wouldn't translate. I would get thrown in jail. They're like, you can't be dirty. Sorry, that's happening.
Do you want to, before we go to the next, do you want to hear Burr's response to all this briefly? It's brief. Do you want to hear that real quick? Okay. Because he on his Money Morning podcast takes questions there. And apparently a lot of the questions have been about this.
Oh, Jesus. I'll tell you that. The sanctimonious is sanctimonian. Key word on the monian. Oh, Jesus. All right, here's the deal. You guys are asking me, obviously, a ton of questions about the absolute controversy. All right. Here's the deal. I have no problem answering any of them. The problem I have is after I answer them, it all gets clipped. And then once it gets clipped, then the lies start getting told, or they start shaping it and making it this and making it that. So all I'm doing is just throwing another log on the fire, and then they can make more money. No, I'm sorry. Well, no, because they care so much. That's right. Sorry, not because they're just making money. But I do have to tell you, this is fascinating because I've never been in the middle of one of these things. And my whole life when I watch the news, not every fucking news stories, but there's been a lot of shit where you watch it going like, yeah, I don't know. It kind of seems like that kind of. So to finally be in the middle of it and the level of like straight up lies is just, it's wild.
Did you get my tweet, my text?
I have it. Yeah, I have it.
And I'll be honest with you. I've been off the internet for like a fucking month, but just the shit people have been sending. It's funny. You get off the internet and people still send you shit. So like these stories of like there was no women there.
Could you imagine being friends with someone and sending them videos,
people shitting on him,
shit talking them? So when my
he's lying. That's people aren't doing that. He's still on the internet, on social media. That's what's happening.
When my pronoun bit was everywhere and everybody was talking about it, I would get texts from people saying, "I love you. I just want you to know that." And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? I feel none of this. I see none of it. But no one ever sent me a clip going, "Oh, this person's talking shit about you. That person's talking shit about you."
Nobody sent them to him either, dude. I'm telling you, he saw all of this shit for sure. He did. I just want to prove it because he's talking about. He's completely missing the point. He's talking about lies that people are telling about which is completely irrelevant. I mean, it's extraneous.
What he's talking about is the actual event.
Yeah, and listen. He'll just briefly get in, and then I'll cut out of this. But
there's no women there. He just performed to the Royals. By the time they're done with this shit, they're gonna say I went over there and did a one-on-one show in a fucking tent, staring at my toes, and then I left for the head, whoever the hell it is over there, right?
Okay, let play.
Yeah, that's about
but
it.
But that's not what everybody's saying.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. He's completely missed the point.
Nobody's saying that. Nobody's like, "Oh, you didn't perform for just women." What we're saying is,
if you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app, or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
Go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hack.